Hello. Wow, I thought I'd brave it coming out early. Didn't know what I was going to find because of what's going on. But wow. Greeted with gorgeous scenes. And a bird that I've got no idea what, but I say gorgeous scenes, I shouldn't have looked up. I'm sorry, I'm going to be harping on about this for some time. Well, not some time, because, well, I might be. I won't show you above me, but maybe you can see it in the background. Oh my God, this is gorgeous. Oh dear, I feel really quite emotional today here. If you're aware of what's going on, you'll know that this is going to be probably the last time that this is going to look like this. I thought I'd come into this bit, look at that. Just look at this. I mean, really, I'm saying goodbye to all these trees. You will have seen them in a video from a few weeks ago. Oh look, see, sometimes decay and death is really beautiful, isn't it? You know, we're not gothy for nothing. It looks like an old wall of some kind there. Oh wow, look at all this. I'm sure that I don't need to tell you just how amazing this is in here. And this is something that, you know, I was saying in a video I filmed the other day, that this is going to be a record. Because all these beautiful old coppice trees, they're now all dead. Every single one of them. And really, it's the saddest thing. The saddest non-personal thing I've had ever happen in my life. I can't even stress, I can't even put into words just how awful this is. But if you're watching in the UK and you haven't been out last year when I said go and visit all the old ash trees, you're too late. I don't just talk nonsense. If you ever think that I don't spend long enough looking at one thing, or I spend too long looking at one thing, it's because it's very hard to balance between how this feels in here and what's coming across on the picture, because the pictures that I'm looking at is only that big across. So I can't see what's going on for you, and so I just do what I feel, you know. And just, I'm an intuitive videographer. Is that the word? I don't know. I don't like labelling myself, as you'll see in a video I've done about labels. So I try and get as much as I can. I mean, sometimes I'm watching it back and I go, oh, I wish I'd stayed longer looking at that, or, you know, I should have moved slightly to the left, or, you know, those kind of things, but I only know when I get back. That sounded like something. Keeping the camera going for obvious reasons. Apologies for the jangling in my back. I have to come armed with water. Hey, should we go in here? Ooh, some spurge. Otherwise known as euphorbia. This is an old mine. Oh, the spurge looks lovely over there. I mean, you know, so actually it may have been a hut, because I did used to come here when there was a building. Maybe this is it. Oh. Badger pelvis. Oh, that's joined to the... Wow, that's quite a good good joining. And look at what have we here. Badger home. Wow, look at that. And sometimes the other problem, of course, is the position I'm in doing this filming. I ought to bring someone along with me just to catch me in action. You can see through there the light green of the spurge. Now you will have seen these at another time of year. In my rush to come out this morning, I forgot my usual camera. My broken camera is the one I use because it's broken, so I'm not worried about anything happening to it. So I bring it out to places and use that as my main filming because it's got a lot of good qualities to it. You know, the on-off button for recording is slightly proud, so it's easy to turn on and off, whereas this one, you spend ages fumbling for it. And that's not a euphemism. Hey, come on, where else can you go for a walk in the woods with somebody who's not only a woodsman but a comedian as well? Do you know, there's a few things you're not supposed to do, isn't it? One is laugh at your own jokes, and the other I've just forgotten. Wow, this is just ace. Trying to get a view of that oak in there. And the other thing is you aren't supposed to be able to smell yourself. Well, I can smell myself. Wow. Oh, look at that. The new raggetty and greenery. So that's what he looks like in a different time of year. It's a very good spurge display, and with a nice mix of anemones and bluebells. Gert lash, as they say round here. It's absolutely amazing. Sorry if I'm talking too much. You're keeping me company as much as anything else. I know I've got the nature, but I am out in it all the time for most of my adult life and mostly on my own. So, you know, it does turn you a bit funny. There's an example of oak tumbling down. Did you notice that on the branches, the way they were? If you've watched a lot of my videos, you will have, you should know by now how to spot it. Look at it all. Wow. It's a glorious spurge spring morning. And try saying that repeatedly. All those who said that repeatedly, have yourselves a drink. Wow. It really is good when there's a balance of plants. Now, either skip forward or brace yourselves, because that's the same wood and should look exactly the same. Yep, that's had a load of ash cut down. Okay, you can carry on looking now. Oh, there's a dragon. Oh, can you see it? Looks like time for a zoom in. There's the tail in the centre there. Look at that. Wow, beautiful spring light. I have traced my steps just to show you that bit of digging there, because I walked over here, over there. If I was a better tracker I could see some signs, and then I got to here and I thought, oh, there's another bit. Something's been having a chew on that. I mean, it looks badgery, but alternatively it could be something more scary. There's another one of those walls. And one of the downsides of forgetting my other camera means that I'm a battery less. So I generally don't run out of batteries, but you know, I say generally. thought you might enjoy going through the portal to the bluebell patch. Here we are, and we're in. We're only going to be here briefly because I've gone back. Nice big oak through there. With some little bits of ash in the way, never mind. And here we're going another way, that's not the way I was intending to go. Just because I want to have a look, I want to have a proper look and take it all in, or as much in as I can, and the camera will do the rest. Now, if I was to hold the camera facing higher, it's a far different story than what you can see. So if there's anyone out there in the UK who wants a tree-loving nature person who's been out in nature working in it for the last 25 years to help them plant woodlands, then get in touch. Because we need to plant trees like crazy. And I'm not being reactionary in any way whatsoever. We need to plant trees like crazy because soon all we will have is trees that are just in hedgerows. And we don't want Justin having them all. That's Camassia, isn't it? So that joke number 3. That wasn't even one of my best either. So. Oh, look! Oh yeah, I do remember finding this before. Oh look! Picked my way around the edge. Wow, look at that. Okay, if you don't want to see how horrible this is going to look very soon, then look away now. I'll tell you when you can start looking back. There you go. That's what it's going to look like very soon. I know there's a lot of Scots pine in there and no oaks, but, well, very few oaks. But there you go. That's what's going to happen to everything we've just walked through. Okay, and back with us. I need to say that. It's like looking at, horrific scenes of mutilation or something, you know? But it's not, it's this. Bittersweet isn't the word, actually. It's more sad. But beautiful today, it really is. Ooh, honeysuckle growing up here. Woodbine. There's another big bunch. Lovely. Woodbine, yes. Now, I'll tell you a story. A cautionary tale. Me and my friend Gary, when we were children, youths, well, we weren't youths, we were sort of teenagers. We used to go into Tesco and go upstairs and look at the skateboards. Don't know why, because we weren't really that sort of kid, you know. But anyway, and on the way in, there's one particular day, we found 2 packets of 20 Woodbine cigarettes on the floor. Now, back in those days, Woodbine cigarettes had no filter. So anyway, quick as a flash, Gary picked them up and put them in his pocket. And off we went to underneath the old railway bridge, because there was an old railway that ran very close to my house, and near both of our roads that we both did live on. And somehow we had some matches or a lighter somehow, and we smoked the lot in an afternoon. I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? That's 20 fags in a few hours. And I'm surprised my parents didn't notice the smell, because if you don't smoke yourself, you notice the smell of smoke. Anyway, I think my mum was lost in other worlds, to be honest. But she didn't really notice things unless they were blatant. This is a nice younger bit, younger growth, I mean. There, now look. If you've heard me talk about coppice splitting apart, can you see that tree there in the middle? The one that's sprayed out like a fan? There you go, that's it. That's it going on. Because it would have looked, well, it would have looked like that one. And as they grow, they get heavier and heavier and fan out. Anyway, the moral of the story is don't smoke, kids. Or not even kids, just don't smoke. It's gross, gives money to the government and makes, well, you know, made certain people rich. Look at this colour. That light coming through the leaves. Sorry about all the extraneous noise. Now this is a rare sight. Herb Paris. Look at all this. The flower grows. It's a 4-leaf thing, and the flower grows in the middle and then a seed forms after. Look at that! I've had to pick my way through to get there, but look at that. That's the biggest patch I've ever seen. I've seen, you know, the next lot was where I worked, and I was responsible for spreading them through the wood. But that is just incredible. And while we're here, that must be where the herb Paris fairies live. Wow. That's amazing. Wow, that was breathtaking. As is this. Did you see it as I spun the camera around? Well, you will now. Anyway. It hasn't stopped there, look. Can you see that little bit of purple there? We're going to have to go in. Look. Orchids. Now, only if you're like me are you going to venture into here. Wow. I'm at full stretch trying to film these. Oh, there's one there too. Beautiful. Where the early purple fairies live. Or the early purple orchid fairies, to be precise. Wow, I'm starting to get overwhelmed with this. It's actually quite strange that this spring, I would have to say, the flowers this spring have been the best that I've ever seen in my life. Trees and plants. And this woodland floor here, it's really rare to find them all out at once. I know the garlic's out on the other side, in the north side. Bluebells and garlic out at the same time is quite rare, but then to have the anemones, the spurge, the herb Paris and the early purple orchids. Oh, wow. And the primroses, obviously. I made a video the other day about bluebells, that solitary bluebells that are at the base of trees. Interesting. But look at this. This is a wych elm. But look at the epicormic growth on that. That's what you call all that. Because it should be stems. Or a stem. Obviously it's had some damage. And then insect attack. You can tell it's insect attack because these form, these burls, they form. They're a sign of insect attack. Basically a deformation, a deformity. A deformation? Here's a crow's foot of ways to go. I think I should be going that way at some point. Anyway, I'm going to wander this way. Oh, someone has been planting trees. Oh, cool. There's a deer through there. It's kind of keeping us between there. So I'm not going to disturb him. But look at the light. So if I don't get a chance and run out of battery or time or whatever, thanks for coming. See you next time. Bye-bye.